All right, joining us via Zoom is a public affairs commentator, Adeniyi Kunnu. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
All right, thank you very much for having me. Sincere gratitude for leveraging your platform this morning. Yes, please.
Right. Now, if you look at the papers this morning, it is awash with the matters of the high-powered meeting that will be held today, as well as the visit of the former Emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi Lamido, to to Niger, despite going there on his personal capacity, but with the knowledge of the president. Now, I wonder what your impressions are of his visit to Niger and the meeting he had with the leader of the coup. It is said to be a meeting that was to open the doors for conversations. I wonder what you make of it.
Well, I think it's important to put things in historical perspective. Niger Republic has about 56% of the population speak Hausa, and there is ethnic and linguistic affinity between Niger Republic and the 7 original Hausa states in Nigeria, and Kano is actually part of it. And let's understand that the Hausa community traditionally are always, showing allegiance to their traditional institutions. So it's the best alternative at the moment to have somebody who is revered, who is respected, and who can help, through the mediation process. Since we've had recommendations made regarding the peace that we hope to foster. So for Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi is highly respected. And for somebody who understands the cultural and religious, activities over there in the Niger Republic, I think it makes all the sense. It's better we actually JoJo than war. So I sincerely commend that move to have peace just around the ECOWAS region. Yeah.
Right, and I'm just wondering what your take is, this breakthrough that we've seem to have made regarding previous visits, including one by the likes of the Sultan of Sokoto, former Nigerian military leader Abdulsalami Abubakar, not forgetting the American delegation too that couldn't gain access, according to the Nigerian side, on the strength of the sentiments within the country who were on the side of the coup leaders. What do you make of, how do you reflect on, the diplomacy or all the diplomatic efforts so far before the Sanusi intervention, so to speak?
I think that this particular experience gives us one of the rarest opportunities in the history of African politics to address challenges, and Africa are beginning to address those issues that bedevils us since independence. Up until 1993, for the records, Niger never ever had the opportunity of enjoying what it means to have a democratically elected leader. And between that 1993, there was nothing that happened again until 2011, when you have that should be Yusufi, who was there, and the person wandered over. So you'd have to ask yourself that what is it that Africa is doing that continues to allow it to remain the way it is? For the records, Niger has about only 30% literacy rate, and this same Niger attained independence August the 3rd, 1960. So if you look at the recurrences of coup in the Niger Republic, as well as in some region within the ECOWAS area, you'd find out that not opening people up to the requisite education that makes them become civilized and choose better options for their lives is actually affecting them. But let me say this. When Niger attained independence in 1960, Niger had a leader that was there consistently for 14 years, who never left that position. France continues to relate with that particular person. And I have to say here that for that period of time, the foreign powers that were relating with Niger, for instance, didn't deem it fit to call caution on the person that appears to be a despot. So when you find out that the people that actually planned this coup, as led by Abdurrahmani, are refusing to speak at some points with foreign people or foreign powers, It's because there's a history. And Africa must also begin to self-check its own operation. Let's talk about the West of Africa, for instance. There are some leaders within the West African region, let's just take it from there, that have amended wrongly their constitution to perpetuate themselves in power. And the question is, what did ECOWAS do within those periods that there were needless and wrong alterations to constitution to have allowed them to stay there? You also need to ask certain important question here. Guinea had a coup. ECOWAS did not take this stand against Guinea. Burkina Faso had a coup. ECOWAS did not speak strongly to the issue. Mali had a coup. ECOWAS took a sleeping pill and went on snoring. You need to ask the question, why is Niger so different? That even as ECOWAS is speaking, ECOWAS is not speaking to the issues of those three other areas. And that perhaps could be reasons why the coup plotters in Niger Republic are also adamant about wanting to either use force as initially mooted, or the fact that everybody keeps mooting right now, that they should restore Bazoum to power. So I'm simply saying that ECOWAS need to address internal issues of responsible leadership, of responsible representation. So when you look at the issue of those that had wanted to speak to the issues that were not allowed, and you look at the person of Sanusi at the moment, all of these things must not be considered in isolation, because ECOWAS itself must address its issues. And let us also say this. Have you come to terms with one thing, that the Francophone region of within the Sahel region happen not to be the only areas colonized by France? Algeria, you're talking about Morocco, you're talking about Tunisia. These people have a history of colonialism with France. You have to ask yourself, why up until this moment are those people not tied to the teters of France? So I think Africa, especially many countries within the West African region, must begin to assert themselves. And it's important to speak to these issues.